Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are digging into a report from Virtualization Options LLC, a research firm that's all about making complex tech topics crystal clear for business leaders. We're talking about something called cloud native. Now, I know what you might be thinking, another buzzword, but stick with me because this one is different. It's a whole new way of thinking that can seriously accelerate your business, or if you ignore it, it could leave you stuck in the slow lane. So let's just start right there. I want you to really think about this for a second. Right now, is your technology a powerful engine pushing your business forward? Or is it a heavy anchor dragging you down, making it impossible to move fast and innovate? Your answer to that question, well, that's exactly why we're talking about cloud native today.
All right, so to understand where we're going, we first have to understand where we've been. For years and years, software was built in what we call a monolithic way. Just picture one giant block of code. Every single feature, your login, your shopping cart, your payment processing, it's all tangled together in one massive unit. And while that worked for a while, in today's world, that's a huge business problem.
And here's the contrast in black and white. On one hand, you've got that monolith. It's slow to change, it's incredibly risky because one tiny error can crash the whole thing, and it's totally inflexible. But on the other hand, you have cloud native, which promises the complete opposite. It's fast, it's resilient, meaning it can take a punch, and it's agile. This is the fundamental choice businesses are up against. So what is this cloud native thing, really? Here's the most important part. It's not a product you can just go out and buy. It's a philosophy. It's a totally new approach to building and running your applications that's designed from the ground up to squeeze every last drop of power out of the cloud.
Let's put a pin in a clear definition. Cloud-native apps are built specifically for the cloud. They weren't just old apps that got lifted and shifted into a cloud server. Because they're designed this way, they can do amazing things, like automatically grow to handle a massive spike in traffic and then shrink back down to save you money. And they're built to be incredibly resilient when things, inevitably, go wrong.
Okay, so how does this all work? It's not magic, I promise. It's all about using a new set of tools and some really clever architectural ideas. So let's pull back the curtain and look at the core components that make this philosophy a reality. The first big idea is called microservices. Remember that giant monolithic block of code we talked about? Well, with microservices, you take a sledgehammer to it. You break that application apart into a collection of small, independent services. It's like this. The old way was like building a single giant marble statue. If you wanted to change its smile, you had to recarve the whole face. Microservices are like building with Lego bricks. You want to update the login feature? You just swap out the little login Lego brick, nothing else is affected. And the business impact of this is just huge. Think about it. Your teams can update one small part of the application without needing a massive, scary, all-hands-on-deck release. And if one of those services fails, let's say the product recommendation engine goes down, it doesn't take the entire e-commerce site with it. That's called fault isolation, and it gives you incredible reliability, flexibility, and the power to scale just the parts that need it. Now, for the next piece of the puzzle, containers. So if microservices are the Lego bricks, you can think of containers as the perfect little standardized box that each brick comes in. A container packages up a piece of software with everything it needs to run, all the code, all the tools, all the libraries. It's basically a standardized shipping container for your code. It doesn't matter if it's on a developer's laptop, a test server, or in the cloud, the contents inside just work. The real power here is consistency. A container gets rid of that classic, frustrating problem of a developer saying, well, it worked on my machine, because if it works in the container, it'll work the same way everywhere. This makes deploying software so much simpler and gives you the freedom to move your applications wherever you need them to be. Okay, so we've got our application broken up into all these little microservices, and each one is neatly packaged in its own container. But now you might have hundreds or even thousands of these things. How on earth do you manage all of that without going crazy? The answer is automation. This is the engine room that makes the whole system go. And the main tool that powers this automation is a system called Kubernetes. The best way to think of it is as the air traffic controller for all your applications. You've got all these little container planes flying around, and Kubernetes is the one on the ground masterfully coordinating all their takeoffs, landings, and flight paths to make sure everything runs smoothly and nothing ever collides.
So, what is this air traffic controller actually doing? Well, it's working for you 24/7. When one of your containers crashes, Kubernetes notices instantly and restarts it. That's self-healing. When a flood of customers hits your website, it automatically adds more containers to handle the load. That's auto-scaling. It also intelligently routes traffic and lets you roll out new updates with practically zero downtime for your users. It's the brains of the whole operation.
The last piece of this automation puzzle is something called a CI/CD pipeline. This is your company's own automated software factory. Continuous integration, or CI, means every time a developer makes a change, it's automatically built and tested. Then, once it passes, continuous deployment, or CD, automatically sends that tested code live to your customers. This whole pipeline transforms software delivery from a slow, manual, nerve-wracking event into a fast, automated, and boringly reliable process. And in this case, boring is good.
Okay, we've gone through a lot of the how. Microservices, containers, Kubernetes. But as a leader, you're probably asking the most important question of all. So what? What does this all mean for the business? Let's translate all this tech talk into what really matters. Cold, hard competitive advantage. And this quote from the report really says it all. The point here isn't to chase new technology just for the sake of it. The point is to unlock significant value. It's about using these tools to fundamentally change what your business is capable of achieving. This slide right here is the Rosetta Stone. It translates the tech features directly into the business outcomes you care about. See, when we talk about scalability, what we really mean is you can handle that massive Black Friday rush without your site ever crashing. And you're not paying for all that extra capacity the rest of the year. When we say microservices, we mean you can innovate faster and your systems are more resilient. CI/CD means you can react to what your competitors are doing in hours, not months. This is how you win.
Now, the benefits are obvious, but let's be real. Getting there isn't like flipping a switch. It's a journey. It requires a thoughtful, strategic plan to move away from that old monolithic world and into this new model of microservices. And it's really important to go into this with your eyes wide open. This new way of working introduces new kinds of complexity. It requires new skills on your teams. It absolutely demands that your teams work together and communicate better than ever before. And things like security and compliance have to be front and center from day one. Acknowledging these challenges is the first step to conquering them.
The key is, you don't have to boil the ocean. You approach this as a manageable, step-by-step migration. You don't try to rewrite the whole thing at once. You start by carefully chipping off one piece of that old monolith. You package that new little microservice in a container, you get Kubernetes to manage it for you, and you build one of those automated factory pipelines to deliver it. Then, you just repeat the process. Little by little, you modernize your entire system.
Ultimately, the takeaway from this report couldn't be clearer. This isn't just some passing fad. This really is the future. Embracing these cloud-native principles is what's going to empower organizations to build the strong, innovative, and resilient solutions they need to not just survive, but to truly lead in the years to come.
Which brings us right back to where we started, but with a whole new lens. Now that you've seen the what, the how, and most importantly, the why of cloud native, the real question to take back to your teams is this. Is your organization ready to finally cut the rope on that old tech anchor and start building for the future?